it's Felice, totally awake, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, then welcome. Now, today I did just want to talk about this news clip I have here, and it's about 6 minutes or so long, so I'm just going to cut in between and share my commentary. Hope you guys don't mind. I will share the link, so if you want to go check out the full news clip, you can do that. Here goes. It's kind of disturbing, so brace yourself.
Pennsylvania grand jury has recently brought child abuse charges against 9 men, all Jehovah's Witnesses, in what some are calling the most extensive investigation into the group in history.
Fox 43's Harry Lee reveals the investigation that will likely lead to an official report that could have major consequences for the Jehovah's Witness organization.
The first time was a Wednesday morning.
Martin Hawk was assigning door-to-door routes for the Red Lion Jehovah's Witnesses congregation when a teenage member slipped inside the Kingdom Hall with Hawk's 4-year-old daughter.
I caught him, fondling my daughter. I didn't know what to do. I actually didn't do anything the first time, as I didn't know if I saw that.
The second time was a Sunday morning.
My daughter disappeared again for the second time, and I freaked out. I was really scared because I knew he was there, and I saw him assaulting our daughter.
Even after the third time, for a true believer, there was nowhere to turn. The Hawks relied on divine justice, not secular.
The police are controlled by Satan, the justices. So we can't get justice for anybody out there.
The whole world is lying in the power of the wicked one.
In 2005, they reported the abuse to the elders, but not to police.
You're told to wait on Jehovah.
So they waited 11 years.
I wish it was the child abuse that woke me up, but it wasn't.
Okay, so there is a lot to unpack here, and this is just really sad. But unfortunately, like him, the child abuse is not what wakes many of us up, because it's ingrained in us that, they tell you there's child abuse everywhere, right? But there's not that 2-witness rule everywhere that protects the criminal, okay? And let's listen to this part again.
I caught him, fondling my daughter. I didn't know what to do. I actually didn't do anything the first time, as I didn't know if I saw that.
Could you imagine, just imagine, catching someone in the act, and you're so indoctrinated that you tell yourself, I didn't know if I saw that. But that's the same way they do, when you go to the bathroom, you think you can leave your purse there. Oh, you can leave your purse there because nobody's going to mess with it. Everybody loves and serves Jehovah. So I couldn't have seen somebody fondling my daughter because everybody here loves Jehovah. So I know I didn't see that. So you let it go on until you realize, actually, I did see that. Actually, I'm scared for my daughter now. He admits that it was the religious indoctrination that stopped him from contacting the proper authorities and getting help for his daughter sooner.
I just wish I would have done more back then, but I was indoctrinated by that religion.
Imagine the guilt he must feel for sacrificing his daughter for his cult beliefs. And it's the same way they do with the blood doctrine. Children, people are being sacrificed for this cult and the beliefs of this cult. They are losing their lives because of this cult's beliefs and doctrines. I mean, it truly is no different from any other cult that would want you to sacrifice your life or cause you pain and trauma and tell you that it's all because of God. Don't you want to be closer to God? Don't you want to see God? I just seen on TikTok not long ago, it was talking about in Kenya how a group of people in a cult starved themselves thinking that it would help them to get to Jesus. It just helped them to see their death.
Hawk is now one of dozens of witnesses to testify before a Pennsylvania grand jury that's investigating an alleged systemic cover-up of child abuse within the Jehovah's Witnesses organization.
Good for him, helping for others to get justice.
The group, also known as the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, has 8.7 million members worldwide, including 1.2 million in America and 83,000 in Pennsylvania. It was founded in Pittsburgh in the 1870s, breaking with Orthodox Christianity over its focus on Armageddon and separation from the world.
In recent months, Pennsylvania Attorney General Michelle Henry announced sex charges against 9 members of Jehovah's Witnesses, hinting at a larger pattern.
Some of these defendants even used their faith communities to prey upon the victims, and others had to look no further than their own families.
And this is often why the Jehovah's Witness organization, cult organization, is considered to be a pedo's paradise, because they do not protect the victims, but instead the accused criminals with their two-witness rule. It's that easy to get away with things like this in the Jehovah's Witness religion because of the system that they have set up that does not protect children.
Defense lawyer Dan Kiss said his client, Robert Ostrander, was singled out to advance a bigger investigation.
This seems to me, in large part, to be Catholic Church Part 2. They're making this about the Jehovah's Witness religion.
In February, I asked the Attorney General if she was investigating the organization as a whole. Her response:
This is an ongoing investigation.
The Attorney General's office says they still can't comment on the investigation, but wrote in a statement, the relevance of the Jehovah's Witnesses organization to the investigation is outlined in the grand jury's presentments regarding each defendant who has been charged. Those presentments articulate incidents where defendants use their positions of authority within Jehovah's Witnesses congregations to build trust with children who they later abused. Now, multiple sources confirm the state attorney general's office is investigating the organization, with a report likely to follow.
I understand there is a grand jury convened on these issues.
From my understanding, that there is a grand jury going on.
The investigation is wrapping up. 9 Jehovah's Witness men have been arrested for child abuse in the past 4 months in Pennsylvania, with many more arrests coming. My little work has helped arrest some of those men.
Sources say the report is expected to detail Jehovah's Witnesses' internal judicial system and how it allegedly fails to hold abusers accountable.
There is tremendous abuse in the faith that is intrafamilial. And so many victims in the faith have been locked in because they're not allowed to tell the authorities. And the proof element in the church has been so high. So it's disastrous.
For an internal investigation, Watchtower requires 2 people to witness the abuse, a standard that in many cases is impossible to meet. In recent years, DNA evidence can be considered as the second witness.
The odds of child abuse, including DNA evidence, especially when you're not encouraged to go to the police right away, is almost zero. It's not going to happen.
The Hawks did go to the police in 2017, shortly after they grew disillusioned with the church and left. In 2018, John Logan Hawk, Martin's step-cousin, was charged with indecent assault of a person under the age of 13. But because John was about 14 years old at the time, the charges were ultimately dropped. Martin says he will continue to work with the Attorney General's office to ensure what happened to his daughter never happens to someone else's.
I would love to see the headquarters held accountable, because it is their policy that has led thousands of young kids to be abused, victimized over and over again.
Jehovah's Witnesses responded in a statement that the scriptural investigation does not purport to offer an alternative process to the secular authorities' investigation of allegations of the crime of sexual abuse. They added that the religion of Jehovah's Witnesses does not shield any perpetrator of child abuse from the secular authorities. Elders will report an allegation of abuse to the statutory authorities as required by law. The scriptural investigation does not purport to offer an alternative process to the secular authorities' investigation of allegations of the crime of sexual abuse. They added that the religion of Jehovah's Witnesses does not shield any perpetrator of child abuse from the secular authorities. Elders will report an allegation of abuse to the statutory authorities as required by law. Harry Lee, Fox 43 News.
Martin and his wife have continued to work with the Attorney General's office as the grand jury continues investigating an alleged cover-up of child abuse within the Jehovah's Witnesses organization.
And we should note that while we do not typically identify victims in our reporting, both the parents and now adult victims say it was important for them to share their story in hopes of protecting others.
And tonight on Fox 43 News at 10, we look into the legal ramifications for the religious group and why the organization itself could be held responsible for the actions of its members.
And this is why the protests to be held October 31st in Washington, D.C., in front of the White House is so important so we can continue to expose abusive cult, especially this abusive cult, for what it is, an abusive cult that is allowing kids to be hurt repeatedly with their unscriptural two-witness rule that allows the accused criminal to run free if there is no second witness. They do their own internal justice system, and it's not enough. It's not enough, okay? You know, people are losing their lives behind this cult and their blood doctrine. People are taking their lives because of their shunning, you know, their evil shunning that they're having to endure from their family and friends that they've known all their lives, you know. So again, let's continue to expose this abusive cult. Please share this video. Let's expose this abusive cult for what it is. It is evil and it protects criminals. Again, this is Felice, Totally Awake. Make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. Please leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. And I'll be back with another video. Like this video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.